Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome back to the channel, and this is a very exciting video. This is a battle report versus Mike, aka the chef from Tabletop Tactics. One of the biggest channels out there that does very good, high quality battle reports. If you don't know who they are, Google them. They do some free on-demand stuff on YouTube. They do some pay-per-view stuff as well. So they do rely on a subscription service, as they do this full time. Yeah, very excited to bring you this game. This is going to be a very, very hard-fought battle. You know, the guys that I normally play are probably a similar level to me, I'd say, in experience and skill. And we just have a good laugh. Now, this is playing someone who takes the skill level a little bit more. They know how to micromanage combat, how to really maximise the use of their units, and this is going to be a very tough fought battle. But if you're interested in more battle reports on this channel and you're enjoying the tactical videos, the painting guides, Titan 19 hashtag, and all that other good stuff that I'm doing on this channel, if you're excited for that and you want to keep up to date, don't forget to press that subscribe button, hit that bell button for notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. But without further ado, no more waffle, let's go find out how we did.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
How's it going? It's not too bad at all. Thank you for coming along.
Very welcome.
So I know him as Mike. People on the internet might know him as the chef.
Hello.
Hello. From Tabletop Tactics. We are not quite as glamorous as Lawrence at the moment in the lights of Vegas. We've got that light, so that's about it. That's as good as we're going to get in sunny Staines. We're a bit more Ali G than the Hangover.
Are you West Side or East Side?
West Side's the best side.
Yeah, but I technically live on the east side, so...
It depends where the John Nike Leisure Centre and the roundabout is, doesn't it? Yeah, if you're American and watching this, you might not get the reference, but if you're English, you might do. Google Ali G and we'll be good to go. Anyway, we are here. We're going to be playing a bit of Chapter Approved 2018 missions. We are playing...
Tactical Cascade.
Tactical Cascade, which I've not played before. This could be potentially high scoring.
Yeah, I've not played it before, but it sounds really fun.
So we're playing a bit of that, and our deployment map for this is horrendous.
Yeah. Oh, it's upside down.
It's upside down.
It's Vanguard Strike. That's
how
Vanguard
Strike.
It is.
So it's Vanguard Strike. So it's corner to corner.
Horrible.
Which is horrible, but point scoring wise could be quite interesting. So. You're playing your Necrons.
I am.
I'm playing my Thousand Suns, and we're going to be using the new Bolter Discipline rule.
Yes.
Just to see whether
Rubricae are really good.
Rubricae, or in fact the Terminators, who haven't got to worry about, you know, ranges and stuff anymore. They've got a bigger threat bubble. So we're going to give that a go, but I am going to be facing your Necrons.
Yes, a lot of beige boys.
The beige boys are back. Do you want to run us through what you've got?
So, army list wise, we've got a battalion and an outrider detachment. It's all using the Nefrek dynastic codes.
That's the auto 6 charge, dance.
Yeah, auto 6 advance, and I can move through all terrain and models as if I had fly when I do it, which is really nice. But only when I advance, because having it on the entire army to do that at all times would be amazingly good. So battalion, we've got 3 units of 10 Tesla Immortals, because these babies are so good. They are led by a Cryptek, who has a Chronometron and a Staff of Light, and an Overlord, who will be my Warlord, using Immortal Pride as his Warlord trait, which is the I can deny 1 psychic power a turn with him, as well as I auto-pass morale within 6 inches of him.
Anyone would have thought you knew you were playing Thousand Suns today.
It's, to be fair, it's the one that I always take, because auto-pass morale for Necrons is actually really important, because you want them to stay alive for the reanimation protocols. He's equipped with a Void Scythe, so he's decent-ish in combat. However, more importantly in combat, I have a unit of 8 Lich Guard, all equipped with War Scythes. Now, you don't see these guys normally because they're okay. When they hit stuff, that stuff usually dies. Problem is they're such a big target and they're actually relatively easy to kill. But I'm hoping that their 2 wounds and toughness 5 will actually help against all that bolter fire.
Yeah, because most of my stuff is just strength 4.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe I can get a couple of like early command points spent from you, but you know, you might want to use veterans. But then there's other more important things to worry about as well in terms of combat. like the Nightbringer. Yeah.
The converted Nightbringer.
Yeah.
None of that shenanigans, straight up Finecast model.
Yeah, which is a shame because the model still actually holds up quite nicely. I think it's just it's Finecast, which I'm not a massive fan of in terms of working with, and I really like the Mortarch models, and this gives me an excuse to use it. And I haven't brought the Nightbringer out to play for quite a while in 8th because mainly I've been kind of focusing on the more competitive side of 8th. And whilst he's fun, as are all the Catans, they're just a bit iffy for their points in terms of what you can do with them.
And you're normally playing at 1750, right, for competitive?
1750 at competitive. I am going to an event at time of filming in about a week, which is 2k. But when I'm going to the Warhammer GT in March, that is 1750.
So we're playing 2k today, which is giving us a chance to try out some units we don't normally use, because everyone goes for the auto include units such as the Wraiths and the Destroyers, and in your case, I think the Tomb Blades are pretty decent
I really
these days.
like Tomb Blades, yeah.
But yeah, we're getting to play with a few different things. So like your Leash Guard and like your Catan there. So.
Yep. Which nicely goes into the Outrider detachment. Yes, you do have the auto takes here. 6-man unit of Destroyers, 6-man unit of Wraiths. I also have 7 Scarabs because Scarabs are really good for tying up stuff, and you've really not got a way to fall out of combat, if I recall. I mean, apart from the Dark Matter Crystal.
Dark Matter Crystal and Warp Time. But Warp Time range is pretty limited.
Still 9 inches.
It's 9 inches for me, 3 inches for most, but it doesn't count as a fallback. So
yes, it does, because you move again as if it was your movement phase.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll check that, because that might have been an FAQ thing. But as far as I'm aware, because it states you move it as if it was your movement phase, whereas Dark Matter Crystal specifically says this does not count as falling back. Same with the Veil of Darkness, which is the relic on my Warlord. I forgot about that. Sorry. But yeah, either way, the Scarabs are great for tying stuff up. They're super cheap. Again, you know, you're wounding them on freeze. I'm not getting a save against your stuff because of the AP2, but it's actually a fair number of wounds to chunk through. It is, so,
and it's also a good mortal wound shield as well, right? With the smite spam that I can potentially. I've got like 9 psychers in this army. So.
Yeah, smite spam is a fear because I don't have any defense against mortal wounds like most people. So yeah, they're a screen really more than anything, and they're a cheap screen. Only like 90 points. Then I have the unit of 6 Tomb Blades. They're all equipped with shield veins and nebula scopes apart from 1, primarily because otherwise I'd be 1 point over. So the nebula scopes allow me to ignore cover, which is kind of irrelevant really because they're damage 1, so you'd be getting the +1 for all this dust anyway, but at AP2 ignore cover, you know what, all of a sudden that 1-up save becomes a 4-up.
Yeah, the net 1-up for being in cover plus the all is dust against damage 1. I've got an effective 1+ save.
An effective 1+ save. And at -2, you know, and the difference between the ignoring the armour to basically reducing it down to a 3-up to 4-up is quite significant. So one of them doesn't have it because of points, and they are led by a normal lord, not an overlord, who is equipped with a Void Blade, represented in this case by twin scimitars. He's obviously right in the middle of all my infantry to give them the reroll 1 to wound bubble because that's ace. And that is 1,999 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I automatically lose on the basis that I haven't reached 2,000.
I haven't reached 2,000 either.
Excellent!
So, let's just quickly run through mine while we've got them on the go here, and I'll do a little bit more in depth shortly. But I've got basically 2 battalions and 1 Vanguard. Is that the elite one? Vanguard's the elite one?
Vanguard's elite.
Vanguard's the elite one, that's what I've got. So in my 1st battalion, which is pure Thousand Suns, I have my 2 beloved Exalted Sorcerers on disc, which are floating around up here at the moment. 2 units of Rubricate, because we're trying this new Bolter Discipline rule, so more bolt guns are better. And then 10 Cultists lingering over here, because that's what Cultists do. So that is the battalion. They then have a Demon Battalion, which is off the board mostly. So I have a Fate Weaver and 8 Flamers. They're off board using Denizens of the Warp at the moment. 3 units of Brimstone Horrors, because that's what you do if you're a demon player.
Super cheap.
Unless you're doing demonic bombs of letter or horror bomb type tactics. So they're floating around over there. And they, so that's their HQ and 3 troops, or 2 HQs, because I have a Fate Skimmer as well, which is this demon over here. And then bolted on, I have an Elites detachment, which is 2 units of Scarabs, Scarab Occult in this case, which are sitting over here. Soul Reapers, Hellfire Racks, and then Storm Bolters. Again, trying to use the new fancy bolter discipline rules with these guys to the best of possible ability. And their HQ is a Demon Prince, which is on board and over here. A scattering of psychic powers all over the board. I'm not going to go through them because there's so many, but pretty much every power is mingled across the board in some way, shape or form. My Warlord is this guy here with the upward pointing stick. He's running Warp Time and Glamour of Tzeentch. His Warlord trait is +1 on the casting, which is, I think, pretty standard for most Warlords in Thousand Suns. Fairly standard.
Yeah, if you're not running Arrowman, it's fairly standard.
Yeah, if you're not running Arrowman, which tempting to try and potentially upgrade one of these two one days.
For the sake of the 26 points, you want Arrowman.
Yeah, he's just too good. Too good with the 3-up invuln save.
3-up invuln, the +1.
Extra power.
Powers.
Yeah. There's reasons to take him, but the reason I don't take him is I haven't finished painting him.
There you go.
So there we go. So that's pretty much my list. Oh, I've also got my Enlightened back. I haven't run my Enlightened for a few games now, so I'm looking forward to taking those. And in the Enlightened squad is the elite dude, forgotten his name.
Aviarch?
No, the
Shaman.
Character, the Shaman, yeah, that's him. He's in there as well. So
yeah, so he's the third elite as part of that Vanguard.
Correct, yeah. So the Vanguard being the 2 units of Scarab Occult and him, that makes the 3 elite slots up for that detachment. I come in at 14 command points. I've already burnt 3 for Denizens of the Warp because the Flamers are over a power level of 8. So that means it costs them 2 command points and then 1 additional for the Herald dude as well. So the Terminators are in Deep Strike Reserve. You've got nothing in reserve?
Nothing in reserve. I could spend a command point because I'm running Nephric. I could do Translocation Crypts to put an infantry or swarm in reserve. It was tempting to do that with the Lich Guard to just keep him safe, but honestly I want pure target saturation on the board. So
and you've achieved that. And we've done our objectives. We've got an objective sort of floating around in here. We've got, yeah, pretty much scattered around. There's one in the middle here. There's one over here. One underneath the feet of the Rubrique here. One in this abandoned bit of manufacturing type silo thing over here. So yeah, fairly scattered with that. I've deployed first as part of the chapter approved. You have to deploy your entire army. Those that deploy first, go first unless you steal the initiative. I have elected to go first.
Okay.
And the uniqueness of this mission is we get to pick our objective cards.
We do.
So the way we're going to do that is we are going to pick them in secret and then reveal them at the start of our turn.
Yeah, so at the start of a player's turn you choose 2 tactical objectives, they automatically generate these objectives, and then at the start of the turns thereafter you generate 2 objectives for each one that you achieved in the previous battle round, up to 6 generated a turn, but no maximum in your hand, because you actually lose points if you have for every 3 cards that you have at the end of the game.
So if you pick stuff and then don't achieve it, you're going to get penalised.
Yes.
So I'm going to go first. Would you like to try and steal, or are you just going to?
Yeah, I'm going to try and steal because I don't really want that initial barrage of psychic nastiness coming my way. So, no. All right.
So I've got to try and come up with a plan here because we are 24 inches apart. So all my bolters are out of range initially. The stuff over here, in amongst all our snacks, we've got nuts and crisps and stuff, which is standard. They can't come on for a turn. So it's going to be trying to position myself to get at least, because we have 2 objectives, so I've got to try and get those at least so I can generate more cards for the next turn. So I'm already sat on 2 of them. So the question is, do I pick those? Do I pick one to secure it, or do I pick one to defend it? Because that's worth 2 instead of 1. Or do I just, sacrifice these guys and try and get objective 1 and then watch them die horrendously? There's a couple of options here, but positioning for this big unit over here is key, and the rest of it is all about trying to generate some command points early on, so I've got cards for the next turn. So when we come back after the Thousand Suns turn 1, we'll see how we got on. So the end of the Thousand Suns turn 1. The 2 cards that I pulled out the bag were going to be Area Denial and Supremacy, because I get to choose these first 2. Those first 2 worth D3 each, so I'm going to draw 2 D3 victory points, which if you watch this channel you're going to see that's going to be a 1 and a 1, right? So we'll cut to the chase in a minute.
Double 1.
But what I did to achieve that was I advanced these guys onto that objective in the middle there,
and because we know that we're all 12 inches from the middle, that automatically meant area denial was in play. From a movement perspective, these guys ran up the flank. I cast Boon on the Demon Prince. He's now got an extra point of toughness. These guys are an extra invulnerable save, so on a 3-up invulnerable save over in the corner. These guys up here sort of shuffled forward a little bit just to get their bolt guns in range, as with the exalted sorcerers as well. So from a psychic phase over here then, I got a couple of smites off, did 1 mortal wound, because it was D3 mortal wounds, and a D3 is automatically a 1 on my channel, that is a fact. Prescience, I cast Prescience on this bottom unit here because all of the guys were in range of the destroyers over here, so that was the most effective unit of that. And then I combined that in the shooting phase with Veterans of the Long War. That unit then shot into the destroyers, and after that unit and the top unit both shot into the destroyers, you lost 3 and a wound. But they've got a Cryptek nearby, so they're on a 50-50 to get back up and just go, yeah, whatever. But that was pretty much it. So we're going to see how many victory points that was worth. If this is 1s and 2s, right, there'll be no laughing. It's not bad. It's 4. It would do. It's 3. Sorry, it's 3. Could have been better, but
it is better than you usually. So it's fine.
It's one better than it is usual. Can I command point that?
No.
But there we go. So 1,000 Suns go into the end of their turn on 3 points, and then we go into the Necrons turn 1. What's the plans, other than to reanimate these destroyers and then kill me?
Yeah, well, let's see how many destroyers we get back, and then essentially my intention will be we're going to start removing the Brimstone Horrors, so we can open up some firing lanes on stuff, remove units that can potentially bog my units down. And I'm going to try and put some dents into those Rubricae up there. More importantly, I think, because I know that you've got a lot of stuff coming down in turn 2, which is going to really sting, is just trying to make sure that I've got as much area denial as possible, whether that's on objectives or just sort of protecting key units. So primarily, I mean, this is the great thing about Rubricae Terminators now, though, is they just go, yeah, we can appear 24 inches away, we don't care now. We haven't got
to go for that night, well, the within 12 inches,
12-inch bubble,
which was the amazing thing to do before. But now you haven't got to worry about that,
which actually really helps you, because I can't bubble that as effectively. Now I can try and bubble out the flamers, but they still got 12-inch, don't they? So yeah, so it's going to be tricky, but we'll see how it all pans out.
Well, let's see how we go as we move into the Necrons turn 1. So we are at the end of the Necron turn 1. How do you reckon that went?
Very well.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
It went at 10.
It went at least 10. I'd edge 12.
Yeah, it was extremely strong turn. I mean, I'm not, like, these guys are going to be a bit out of position. They're probably going to get absolutely shanked by these lads over here.
Well, I'm hoping so, because, I mean, from your movement perspective, these guys shimmied down here.
Yes, so we shimmied over there to claim an objective. So my objectives were area denial and supremacy.
So yeah, you went the same as me, right?
Yeah. I think it's just a really good one to do in this mission, especially with this setup. If it was Dawn of War, you might be like, ooh, not so sure about that, because you could move to deny it.
Yeah.
But with this setup, it's actually quite advantageous to do that. So I've shimmied over here to claim that objective. The Wraiths moved up here to charge the Brimstones. Didn't matter because they all died.
Need to, because they're no longer.
But they are in range of holding that one. These guys hung back in order to provide a screen for any deep striking shenanigans, and also to hold this one.
Just in case
something
wrong over
horrifically went over there, and I couldn't kill them. The destroyers have
you got two back out of the 3,
which is really good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, reanimation protocols can be really hit and miss. Sometimes you just go, you know what, it's great, and other times you just go, it's pointless. This turn it was good. It was bring back 2. So they were holding there. They, the rest of the army sort of shimmied forward.
As did the Scarabs.
The Scarabs advanced.
And you used shenanigans to
adaptive subroutines for 1 command point.
so they can advance and charge.
Yeah, which coupled with the Nephrec Dynasty to always go 6
6
advance
inches.
makes it really, really good. I did my will be done on these Tesla lads who were blatantly the MVPs. They killed 5 rubrics.
Oh my god! Look, let's cut to the chase here, right? You see, my 20-man rubric squad is no longer here.
Yeah.
Well, my 210-man.
The 210-man got...
They got absolutely
utterly
shredded.
destroyed.
So Catan Powers took out 1 or 2.
no, he did D3 more wounds.
He did D3,
and
yeah.
he did the full 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was never a good start.
No.
These guys then shot them.
Yeah, the destroyers shot the guys at the top.
At the top
along
because
with
they
the
weren't
tomb
glamoured,
blades.
so they weren't -1 to hit those.
Yeah.
Along with the tomb blades up here.
Yeah.
And then I had 1 left, and promptly, obviously, failed my morale phase.
Yep.
Everyone else shot the bottom ones with my will be done counteracting glamour.
Yep.
So you weren't suffering on the negatives there to hit them.
No.
And then there were 2 left there on the charge. You charged in. We did all the combat. I failed to
nothing
do anything.
happened.
Nothing happened in
Nothing
combat.
happened at all.
And then it was morale phase, and my rubrics got scared of bugs.
Yeah.
And then promptly ran off the board. So that was
strong turn.
strong turn to get
Yeah.
rid of basically 400 points worth of my stuff.
Yeah.
And you also got first blood for that.
Got first
second
blood.
blood, third blood, any other bloods that you might have wanted to add
lot
in
of
there.
blood.
A lot of blood.
Ironically, the Brimstone Horrors, which got Tesla'd, only 1 ran away.
Yeah, anyway, I felt the best morale roll of a 1 over here was
Yeah.
awesome. Everyone else I was rolling 3s, 4s, 5s.
Yeah.
Which is
It was a tough one.
standard. So yeah, I've lost a big chunk of my army.
Yes.
Yeah, in turn 1. But you did have some good rolls. I had some bad rolls, let's be honest. Even with my 2+ save, I failed 5 of them.
Yeah, you burn a command point to keep one of the
one
guys
alive, yeah.
You know, because that's just how the rolling was pretty horrific.
I mean, I had 17 saves to make and I rolled 5 1s. That
Yeah.
is sub-average.
It was way below average.
Yes.
So yeah.
But fickle nature of Zinch probably has a plan somewhere.
Yeah.
And talking of plans,
I think that
we need to see how many points you're
I
going to
think that
generate.
plan involves a bunch of flamers and terminators.
Well, I'm hoping so, because I need something. So you're 2d3
yeah.
points back.
Supremacy and
What's-
aerodynamics,
what's
same
this?
as yourself.
Double 6s.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus first
Plus
blood.
first blood, 5 points.
5 points.
5 points. So we're 5-3
Sure.
as we go into the Thousand Suns turn 2. Plan-wise, well, I've got to bring my reserves in because this is just going to be horrendous. However, positioning is going to be very tricky from the way that you've carefully spread your stuff.
Yep.
Deliberately trying to shield your leash guard here from being flamed or whatever. Yeah, and taking a risk on the Strength 4 Stormbolter shenanigans that's going to come on any second now. But I haven't had a chance to use Bolter Discipline up here. Disappointing.
Sorry,
So, no, you're not.
but I couldn't let
Sorry.
them live.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. So I'm going to need to have to deal with something somehow quickly. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. But I need to start measuring my 9-inch bubbles away from your stuff and see where the flamers and where the Scarab Occult are going to come in and be the most effective. But yeah, you are so well spread that that's going to prove quite challenging, because I might be able to take out a unit here or there, but I must take out a unit, otherwise your reanimation is just going to ruin their day.
Yeah, you've got to kill them.
Got to kill them. But yeah, how that's going to work, and then what cards I'm going to pick, because I'm now going to generate.
We now generate
2
cards
for each successful.
Correct.
So I'm successful on my first one, so I've got 4 cards I get to pick. No, not pick.
You don't
generate.
pick. Yeah, you don't pick
generate.
these ones. You generate these ones. So yeah, so the decks were reshuffled after we picked the
Yep.
first 2.
And then you're going to get to the same.
Yes, but you get to go first.
But I get to see what I can rack up. Potentially, as long as I don't get stuff like secure objective 6 or something, or defend objective 6.
Yeah, that's what you don't.
Or even 4. Or right now, even 1 or in fact, any of the objectives other than this one right now.
Yes. I mean, if you get that one, you're laughing.
Yes, that'd be nice. But we'll find out how this is going to work, because careful deployment is going to be required to try and fight this game back as turn 2 enters. As we enter turn 2 for the Thousand Suns. So we are at the end of the Thousand Suns turn 2. We've been playing forever.
Yeah.
And yeah, some careful consideration of drops here. So the first one, after normal movement, which was these guys here kind of moved over from here, the Enlightened went round the back of this terrain feature here to get within charging of the Immortals that were over there. What, Tether Immortals? Yeah. And then I dropped in my Terminators, which first unit here, the Flamer Blob here, and then another unit of Terminators just in that rather handy back line just over there. There's a nice little gap. Yeah. Kind of where those models are.
Yeah, pretty much where they were. They were bang on 9 inches away from everyone.
I then moved my 2 characters around. Well, I moved my 2 characters first, obviously, because Deep Strike happens afterwards. So I knew that was where I wanted to put the Terminators, to give them as much flexibility to pick some targets as possible. Now, my cards were Master of the Warp, Wrath of Magnus Advance, and no prisoners. So I had to carefully consider how I was going to score some points from that. But we moved into the Psychic phase, and one of them is Master of the Warp, and killing stuff with the Wrath of Magnus in the Psychic phase. Now I unleashed 5 lots of Smite into the Wraiths. Yeah. Sadly, the Smite didn't kill them all. It did require all of the Flamers to fire into them as well, to remove the last 5 wounds. It was a sorry state of affairs. Lots of D3s being 1s, as usual.
But then the...
this little MVP here, this little boss right here, I used a stratagem to give him a second power, because he cast Flickering Flames on these guys first, and I used the stratagem to give him a second power. He cast Smite, and he rolled an 11, so he got superpowered Smite. Yeah. And then for the damage, rolled a 6.
Yeah, he did.
The best use of a stratagem and set of dice in this game for me so far, by far. MVP right there. Other notable things: these guys decided to shoot, and they shot into the Tomb Blades.
Yes, there were 6.
And there were 6. There are now 4. So effective round of shooting from those guys. Happy with that. They were prescienced, and they've also been glamoured, so they are -1 to be hit back, because I am worried about what these guys are going to do very shortly. Yeah. The option for these guys though was going to be to go for the Leash Guard, but I thought the Leash Guard were a little bit further away at the moment. These are probably a better or a bigger threat. And then with prescience, managed to get prescience off, and these are -1 with their veins, kind of counterbalance that, so I thought that was a more viable target. The Terminators shot into a unit of Immortals that were there, leaving 2. Yep. You've auto-passed them with 2 command points because you want to reanimate.
Yes, I do.
They then successfully charged in combination with the Enlightened into the other Immortal blob, of which there are now 2. I killed 6. You fouled leadership and lost 1.
You did kill 7 because you killed 1 from
7
Smite.
from Smite. Yeah. Yes. So there were 7, left you with 3.
Yep.
Your combat back did nothing.
Nope. I did do a wound on Overwatch.
You did do a wound on Overwatch, yes. In fact, I had to spend a command point to stop, because I failed. I'd rolled 2 1s.
That's correct.
And I burned a command point to keep the Terminator alive for those extra attacks. They had a nice little charge. You've left them on 2, which is alright, but reanimation is going to be key. So yeah, that's the end of the Thousand Suns turn 2. And how are we doing on points? So I certainly manifested more than 3 powers, so I'm going to score D3 on that. I didn't succeed with Wrath of Magnus. I didn't succeed with Advance because I wasn't going to come out of this area here. And no prisoners. If I killed an enemy unit during the turn and 3 to 5 enemy units, I'd score D3. Well, I certainly did 1 unit only. And severely crippled several others, but unfortunately didn't get more than that, so I'm only going to score 1 point for that, and then D3 for Master of the Warp. Are we ready for a 1 on this?
Nah, it's going to be a 3. Alright, we'll compromise.
50-50.
We'll compromise.
So I gain 3 3 victory points.
Yep. You've scored 2 this turn, so you draw 4 next turn.
Yes.
Are you going to discard any though? Because you can still discard in this mission.
I think you can still discard. I think I am going to discard Advance if I can.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything saying that you can't discard. It's just you can't have anything at the end of the end of the battle. So yeah, you can discard.
So I'm going to discard Advance because these guys have got a long walk to get out of my deployment zone, and they're not going to make that. So I'm going to get rid of Advance, leaving me just with Wrath of Magnus again for the next turn. Points wise then, so I've gained 3. You were on 4.
I was on 5.
You're on 5?
Yes.
Ah, so it's 6-5 as we go into the Necron turn 2. Yeah, so as we head into the Necron turn 2, what's the plan here?
Right.
So you've done your reanimation so far, right?
So far, yeah. So on,
you gained an awful lot back.
I've brought back 2 Tomb Blades. I've brought back 5 guys over here.
5 guys there.
Just looking at my objectives now, actually, just so I've got an idea of what my plan will be. So I've got Secure Objective 3, Defend Objective 2, Secure Objective 2, and Behind Enemy Lines. So Objective 2 is the one
over here,
all the way over there. That's a problem. So Objective 3 is that one there, which is a problem, and Behind Enemy Lines
it's all there. Well,
I mean, I might be able to get one.
It's a big deployment zone.
So actually, tough turn for me.
Tough on the points here, potentially.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know,
because a lot of your heavy hitting stuff is here, and you really want to get to.
I need to go over there now.
And here, which is you are fast, but I am. Especially with these guys still kicking and gaining 2 back, which is very annoying.
Yeah.
But the scarabs can do some of that.
They can do some tricks. So I've got a couple of plans, so that's fine. So I mean, the intent will be, basically, I'm going to fall out of combat over here just to hold that objective. Gives me a point there because they're troops.
Auto
that's easy. Defend and Secure Objective 2 is a trickier one, so I'm going to have to try and make a beeline over there and start whittling stuff away just so I can go and claim it eventually. Behind Enemy Lines, again, I've got a large sort of deployment zone to work with, so I might be able to get in 1 or 2 units.
Well, the deployment zone starts from about this corner here and goes that way.
Yeah, we'll double check it all as to where it might be.
This way, so there's a lot of room to play with, and this nice little gap down here could easily work for that.
But remember, it is the unit has to be completely
within. None of this one model over the line.
Exactly. So it's going to be a bit of a trickier one. Let's see how we go. But I've got 1 or 2 things in mind.
Cool. Let's find out how we get on.
Get to draw 2 cards next turn.
So the end of where are we? End of your turn.
End of my turn 2. Oh, we do have morale checks to do.
We've got some morale to do. So we'll do that in a second. We'll just cover what happened during your turn 2. So first off, those guys fell back out of combat.
Yep.
Because they could.
And because Secure Objective 3 is
and because Secure Objective 3. That was the key point there, to go for that objective. Your other objectives were a bit tricky, as we remember we had to come down here.
Yep.
Or we had to do.
Well, there was Defend Objective 2 and Secure Objective 2, which is what your contests are on.
Yeah, two of your objectives was over here. That wasn't going to happen, so you had to guarantee that 1 point, which was over here.
Yeah.
Your Catan moved over here and unleashed Whoopass.
Yep. And killed 4 Terminators and 2 Flamers.
Just by looking at things within 18 inches of him, he just unpacked a load of mortal wounds, and I lost a bucket of Terminators.
Well, he did 9 mortal wounds to 3 separate units.
That's disgusting.
He just went boom, boom, boom. 3 more wounds, 3 more wounds, 3 more wounds. See ya. And then he looked at the Terminators. Funny.
Yeah, and he looked at those, and then I lost another one from that. So I've got basically 1 guy on a wound, which I've got to do a morale test for. Between that and these guys, unpacked Whoopass on my demon unit of Flamers. Losing 7 of those, leaving just 1. So I've got a blinky test. If they disappear into the warp and run away, these guys are all piled forward a little bit. So there's a combination threat here, a close combat threat backed up by the gunline threat, which you did fire from these guys into my other Terminator unit. I lost 2 down here from that.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, I mean, I did use extermination protocols because I did know that you've got the -1 going off.
Hit,
but I think after I had 4 in range, so I had 12 shots, and I rolled 5 frees, so I wasn't allowed to re-roll them.
Re-roll them.
Yeah, because of
because they hit.
Yeah, because they're a hit before the modifiers.
Yep.
And then on the re-roll, I think I rolled another 2 frees.
Yeah, it was probably your worst roll so far, but I think the Catan made up for it.
Yeah, and I still killed 2 Terminators, so but I did burn a command point over there. These guys went zappy on the Flamers as well.
Yeah, there was about 5 or so of those in range
5
to
of
shoot with those. So the combination fire, really whittled the numbers down. And did I have something like 15 odd saves and I made 1?
I think you had 11 saves.
11 saves and I made 1. So that killed sort of
the rest of the unit.
That was about 50-50 save, and
that was a bit harsh.
That was bad.
Yep.
That was bad. So from objectives at the end of your turn then, just a point.
Yeah, just the 1 point, because I didn't actually get behind enemy lines, because I'm not wholly within your deployment zone with any of my units.
Because you were considering to advance, but you didn't. You wanted to go for the shots.
I could have done it with the destroyers, and they would have got in, and I could have done it with the Lich Guard just by moving them, but they would move so far out of position at that point, and I could have done it with the Scarabs, so I could have got the D3 points there, but because I don't have any wholly within now, I'll keep that one, because I'm going to do
You'll
that
bank it for the next turn.
And the Scarabs instead...
Charge my Warlord.
They charged the Warlord. They didn't charge the Terminators, but they did tag them with the piling.
Yep.
Unfortunately, as you can see, they are all dead. But they did do 3 wounds to the...
Yeah, you sacrifice 1 for a stratagem to also do D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah, so it's the self-destruction stratagem. After I pile in, but before I attack, I sacrifice a Scarab, and on a 2+1 enemy unit within an inch takes D3 mortal wounds.
Which you did.
2 mortal wounds, and then I did a wound to him in combat as well. So I'll take it for losing the 1 victory point that I would have got to actually open it up to get me D3 next turn.
And you could have got Slay the Warlord. There was a chance that could have happened.
There was a chance.
16 odd attacks, or whatever it was. Yeah. So there was a chance.
But then he killed 3 of them.
With his stave, he's strength 6, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, D3 damage. And then the Terminators then piled in and killed the remaining 1 that he didn't.
Yep. So it was a risk to try and keep them tagged. Like, I could have not tagged the Terminators, and then I would have had the Scarab left alive. But I lost 5 that turn already. Oh no, I had 5 at the beginning of the turn, so I lost 4. So I wouldn't have failed the morale. But he's got fly. He's not, worried about shooting. So it's just a psych power, so it wouldn't have been a big deal. It was worth trying to tag it to keep them pinned in combat. Didn't pay off, but a worthwhile risk when it's then 90 points for a unit. So
so we're now looking at the 1,000. So we're 6 all, I believe. Scoreline.
Yes.
You had 5. You've now gained a point from that turn.
6. I'm going to discard defend objective 2.
Surprise! I thought you were going to really hedge your bets on that and put all your eggs in the one basket for that one. No. But I've got some morale to worry about. So let's start over here with some morale then. So my flamer up there.
Yes. So what's the?
I've rolled a 2. Their leadership 7. So leadership 7, leadership 8.
That's the
Demon Codex. I've got the Demon Book, which is over here. They are leadership 7.
And you rolled a 2 and you lost
6.
So
that's him gone.
Yep. He goes blink. Then you've got.
I've got a Scarab Terminator over there.
Yep.
I've lost 4.
You did. Oh,
no. My god, look at that.
Oh no.
I'm going to command point it.
Yeah. Because his leadership is 9, isn't it? So he's fine.
He's fine on a 5. My god, why can't I roll 6s and 5s when it's a D3 dice off?
Yeah, no, right.
Yes.
You lost 2 over
Terminators
there.
over here, can't fail that. So that is the leadership done. But I am now hedging my bets on a whole bunch of psychic powers.
Oh, they only lost 1.
I've only lost 1 over there, so they're okay as well on the enlightened. There's a guy on a wound, but yes, I'm hedging my bet on everything to do with psychic powers from now on. But we're going to draw some cards because I achieved 2 last turn, so I get 4 cards for this turn. We'll see what they are, and then we'll come up with some plans. But depending on those cards, pretty much I've got still to achieve the Wrath of Magnus, really. So I've got quite a lot of Psychers left. You've got some more weakened units now. Whether I want to go after your Catan with these, he's on 7 wounds. He did try and charge that lone sorcerer.
It was a double 6 charge.
Double 6 charge, but he did take a wound in Overwatch. Yeah. So happy with that. Do I want to deal with these? What do I do with these? I am dwindling in numbers, and your numbers are still pretty high. So I need some good psychic powers really to try and hold the line here and get some lucky with some cards. So when we come back, we'll find out how we did with that as we enter the Thousand Suns turn 3. We are at the end of the Thousand Suns turn 3. I thought that was quite a good turn for me.
That was a strong turn, yeah.
It was a strong turn. So from movement wise, then I advanced my Warlord all the way over here because the threat range of these was just a little bit too much for me to handle. So I hightailed it out of there. However, I did. You can see he's on 1 wound because he was on 3, but he decided he wanted to overcook his perils.
Yeah. And
he cooked his brains a little bit. Fortunately, my D3 roll was a 1.
Yeah.
The only time in the game where I want D3 to be a 1 was that time, and we got it. So that's standard. The other guys then, there was a lot of careful manoeuvring of my characters over here, including the Demon Prince, which we'll get to him in a second. But I did go after the Catan. The Catan is no longer here. He was smited, and then with some serious coolness, I think, I burned a strat. He was on two wounds.
He's on 2 wounds.
2 wounds left, and I really wanted to get the Wrath of Magnus off. So stratagem again, allow me to use my Fate Skimmer to generate a second power. His second power was Bolt of Change. Bolt of Change is not an easy one to get off, right? So it's a cast of an 8. I rolled a 5 and a 3. I got the 8. I needed D3 damage. I rolled a 4. Got the 2 damage, and the Catan is no longer here. So these 2 little demon dudes, right? They're MVPs, right? With the extra stratagem to kick off another power. I am down just to 1 command point now. I have burned through 13 command points in this game. 10 in-game, 3 pre-game. Quite a lot going on. These guys mugged the last remaining Tesla Immortals that were there, which was part of the plan, which now means I control that objective that's underneath that Enlightened. Terminators ended up over here, magically, with the Dark Matter Crystal. Got them out of dodge from all of these guys. Using the Smite from him against the Nightbringer as well, just to add insult to injury. And then those guys shot along with the Stormbolter from this Terminator Sorcerer into these guys, reducing them by another 3, although they could reanimate, which they probably will. But I've got characters that are very vulnerable now to a charge from the Leash Guard. And the Demon Prince. Demon Prince warp timed all the way over to here and then charged in, killing 3.
Yeah, so 3 of them died to the exploding Nightbringer.
Oh yeah, 3.
They were just within 3 inches, and I rolled a 4. And I never ever roll to explode the Nightbringer unless he's only in range of my own guys.
And that's what happened. I managed to keep myself pretty much out of the 3-inch bug. I was 3.1 inches deliberately. There was some careful measuring, right, to make sure they were not only were they the nearest, but also making sure they were out of range from any potential explosion. Yeah, you killed 3 of your own guys. And the Demon Prince killed 2 then, in which case, because you're down
he only
to
killed
5.
2.
He hit with 7, but terrible wounding.
Yeah, I think you failed 4 of them,
4
and then
out
I
of
passed
7.
a save. Yeah.
Yeah, bad. But that's pretty much the end of the 1,000 Suns turn 3. Point-wise then, Objective 2 is a point.
Yep.
Wrath of Magnus is D3 points. An Arcane Right, D3 if you control at least 1 objective marker and your opponent controls none. And that was the whole point of that exercise, because you have none.
That's correct.
So I'm on 2d3 plus 1 for this turn.
It's good. Strong turn.
So, are we ready for 2 ones?
Yep.
2d3 plus 1. So 6 and a 2.
It's 4.
4 plus 1 is 5. Takes its score up to 11-6.
Alright.
What's the plan for the Necron catch-up? It's going to be the luck of the cards, I think.
Okay.
Because you've only got 2 cards this turn, because you only achieved 1 objective last
That's
turn.
correct. So I still have Secure Objective 2. I've still got Behind Enemy Lines. I've just drawn Reclaim and Recapture, so roll a d6 when this objective is generated. If the result is an odd number, d3 victory points for all of the odd numbered objectives. Evens is evens. So I've got to hold the odd numbered objectives, which are 1,
5 is here, and 3 must be underneath
and 3 is over there by... So that's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
And then we go on to my next one, which is Mission Critical Objective, which is, again, I roll a d6 and I score 1 victory point if I control the corresponding objective marker. If it was controlled by you
kick me off it, it's worth more.
D3.
Yep. It's that one.
It's that one over there.
That's rough. That's rough.
Alright. But I have a cunning plan.
I'm sure there's some cunning plans. Are you going to give us a clue what your cunning plan is? Does it involve Veil of Darkness at any
It involves
point?
veiling a bunch of Lich Guard over there, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming, actually. But
Potentially. Because I need to hold it, so I need to charge.
Oh, it's a hold as well, isn't it? So you've got to be there for 2-player turns.
I need to hold them, basically. So it's pretty tricky, but... Let's see how we go.
It's all on the cards, and I had a good turn there. My numbers are still, I did take out a few of your guys there. I took out a lot of Tesla Immortals.
Yes, you did.
Got some will be back. I've got 1 unit that can't come back, which is good.
Yep.
But this unit can come back. There's still a destroyer that can potentially drop back up as well, right?
Yep.
So and then the Tomb Blades. But we'll see how we get as we
Yes.
enter into the Necrons turn 3. So we are at the end of the Necrons turn 3, and you did some very big shenanigans.
Yeah,
I can call it shenanigans, right? So the destroyers moved down here because you had to get to odd number objectives. Odd number objectives being 5, 1, and 3. But you sacrifice the advance to make for the behind enemy lines. You're going to save that for another time.
I have scored behind enemy lines because I do have the character.
Ah, yeah, you've got the Cryptek over here as well.
Yeah,
Is he?
He's the Lord.
He's the Lord.
Yeah, he's the Lord. He's holding within. You can't not achieve an objective, but it means it gets rid of it, and I can draw 2 cards next turn.
True. These guys shimmied a little bit forwards. They didn't do anything. These immortals down here, they were out of range.
Oh no, they did one wound.
Yeah, I had some characters over here. Characters are no longer here, thanks to some shooting from there. The destroyers that split fire very carefully, and picking off all my characters. So basically, I lost my 2 demon characters and my exalted sorcerer. You then veiled over here into this sort of area around about here with your Overlord and your Leash Guard. The Leash Guard with a reroll did make their combat. They multi-charged the 1 remaining horror and the birdies, the enlightened, enough to get in there for combat. You had a nice reroll to pick up a 6, which got you your charge, and your Lord just threw himself into here. And what happened here, Mike?
I
happened?
missed with 2 of my attacks. I wounded with my 3rd. You passed your save, and then he died.
This 5, yeah, and then I attacked back, and yeah, I caused like 9 damage or something. No,
you did 5 wounds.
5, yeah,
which was enough.
5 or 6
He's
to
got
knock him
5
down.
wounds.
You then use the special stratagem.
Yep.
And
Resurrection protocol.
Resurrection protocol. So he's back on a wound. So I don't get Slay the Warlord. Neither did you.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
But it does mean that you've now kind of got to deal with him.
Yes, it
In a
kind of
way.
means that I've got other things to now worry about still.
Why don't you draw Kingslayer now?
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But over here, I lost one of the birdies, one of the enlightened in the combat. You lost 1 wound, I think.
Yes, 1 wound on a Leech Guard.
So 2, 4, 6. You've got 8 Leash Guard because one of them died earlier, right? So
No, none of them have
none
died.
of them died. Oh,
No.
you didn't have a full unit of 10?
No, only 8.
Ah, that'd be it. So yeah, 1 damage down there. Not really enough, unfortunately, because I didn't charge, so I'm not doing 2 damage a turn, which is unfortunate. Over here, though, the combat with the Demon Prince, you stayed in, which
Yes.
I thought was interesting, but you were saving your other trick to move over here, right? So you had other things to worry about, kind of sacrificed them a little bit. But I killed 2. I killed 1 because you made 2 saves.
Yeah, I made 2 saves. Yeah.
And you didn't do anything to me, so.
I had 7. No, you killed 3, but I made. You did 6 wounds. I made 3 saves.
Yes.
You killed 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you got some back. That's
Yeah,
it.
I
I'm
brought
thinking that you had
back
5, but you didn't. You had a bunch
I had
back up.
7,
So actually, not a bad result combat. I think really. I'm hoping that I might be able to deal with the 4 next turn. I've still got 3 Terminators. But other than that, my numbers, my psychic power offense is now seriously dwindled. I've lost 3 dudes from psychic. My 3 main psychers really. That have been MVPs. They're still going to be my MVPs because of that extra stratagem that I've been using.
Yeah.
Was awesome. But from a victory point perspective, you did quite well.
So I got behind enemy lines with 1 unit, the
Yep.
Lord. I did get Reclaim and Recapture because that's the odd number
That's
ones.
the odd number ones.
Of which I have 1, 2, 1, 5, and 3. So I have 8
Yeah,
models
because
here.
you outnumber me.
I outnumber you, and none of your guys are troops. None of my guys are troops, but I did have to kill that Brimstone horror.
Yes, you did. Yeah, the one brimstone you get, which you.
So you've got 2 within 3, I've got 6. So I hold that, which is worth D3. And Mission Critical Objective, which was a 3 that I rolled, which gives me D3 because I now control it at the end of my turn when you
After
control
I
it.
already controlled it, so yeah, that's you kicked me off it.
So I've got 2D3 plus 1.
which is what I had last turn.
It is.
And we are currently 11-6. What are we going to get?
Oh no!
You've got my dice.
Oh no!
You've got my dice.
So that puts me on 9.
So you go up to 9.
But
So again, the cards are very interesting. It's all to play for. It's 11-9.
I'm going to discard Objective 2 because it's where your cultists are.
Yeah, I actually discarded a card at the end of mine, which was the hold objective, defend objective 5. And there's, with the Leash Guard and those guys and the Immortals, yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So I binned that off. But I get to draw 4 cards.
How many did you achieve last turn? You got.
I achieved 3 because I got 2D.
So you draw 6.
I drew 6.
Yep. Which is the maximum that you can draw in this mission,
Yes.
but not the maximum.
But
that you can
equally,
have in
you're
your
going to
hand.
draw 6 in your turn as well.
Correct.
So, but we go into Thousand Suns turn 4. It's all to play for. It's very close. It's not as high scoring as I thought, but
I thought this was going to be a lot higher scoring than it actually is, but we've still now you've got 6.
Now we've got 6 potentials, and we've scored 20 points between us. That's still quite high in regular gaming.
Yeah.
So we'll move in, and we'll see how the Thousand Suns do in turn 4. So the end of the Thousand Suns turn 4. That was a mixed turn, I think. Mixed turn, but we'll catch up on the points in a second. So, Warlord on Warlord action. I actually flew away because we're not actually in combat, because when you reanimate you're an inch away.
Correct.
But I left myself within smiting distance of him and also charging distance of the Leash Guard. The smite did kill him.
It did.
He was only on a wound, and that was just going to happen. The Terminators were over there. I then moved and then warp timed, so they were able to charge into the Leash Guard. The Shaman jumped down from his little perch and he piled into the combat as well. And shooting wise, the Terminators before they charged killed 2 and took a wound off of the Tomb Blades, unfortunately clutching at straws, pistols and everything. And these guys down here couldn't shake that last wound.
Not quite.
Frustrating. Then that was pretty much all the movement really, and the shooting. The psychic phase, there was a few smites going off. A few failed psychic tests going off
Quite
as
a few
well.
actually, yeah.
Quite a few. Diabolic strength didn't happen. Prescience, I'd lost prescience because the exalted sorcerer that had it didn't get it. What else? Well, didn't go off.
You didn't get any glamours off.
No
either.
glamours either. Yeah, I was rolling terrible attacks or terrible buffs, unfortunately. Because I was trying to glamour the guys that were going into this combat for that invulnerable save against those Leash Guard weapons. But so we then went into the combat. The combat over there wasn't very exciting really. I killed a couple, you didn't do any damage to me. But they're still there, annoyingly enough. Lots of units on such few numbers. The big stuff over here then, the combined combat of the charging and everything else, the Terminators, the Warlord. Notice my Warlord's not here. The Shaman. I killed 5 of your guys.
Yeah.
And you killed my Warlord by piling in with the 2 guys. You passed your morale, so they're still all there. But I passed the invulnerable save against the Enlightened. So my Warlord was only on the 1 wound. He was going to struggle against sort of 6 lots of nasty Wolf-Scythe hits. So that was pretty much it. So we've both lost our Warlords in this one turn. However, let's take a look at the other things going on. So a victory point if 9 enemy models were destroyed.
So you killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So I killed 10, so I score that. That is 1 point. That's not a lot for a point.
But 9 models is pretty easy.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Blood and Guts, a victory point if an enemy unit was destroyed during the fight phase.
It was not.
It was not. He was destroyed in the shooting phase, which we get to in a second, so no Blood and Guts.
No, he was the psychic phase.
Oh, psychic phase, oh yeah. However,
But Kingslayer.
I've got Kingslayer. Let's get back to Kingslayer, and that's worth D3 in a second. So we're on 1 plus D3. Secure objective 3. Am I outnumbering you on there?
Yes, you are.
I am outnumbering you on there. 2 to 1.
Let's have a look. So I've got 2 in range there, 3 in range. No, you're not.
I'm not.
You don't have the models within range because you couldn't. With the pile in and consolidate, the models that were removed were done after they were eligible to pile in.
Yeah.
So the way that I've done it is when these guys were killed, there was one guy here preventing these Terminators from piling in. So when the Enlightened attacked, because they were a non-charging unit, they couldn't have attacked first. I then removed him from his attacks. Now they can't get closer to the thing. Same with the Shaman, same with the Warlord. And then when I piled in over here, it was to the Warlord who was the closest model. So actually, I have 2 within and 3 within, and you have 2 within.
Micromanagement of combat. There we go, folks. You heard it from the pro right here. So no secure objective 3 this turn.
This turn.
this turn. So defend objective 1. Yep, I wasn't getting that either. An overwhelming firepower was a victory point if an enemy is destroyed in the shooting phase. I didn't get that either.
It wasn't. Yeah.
So I've got 1 plus D3
and slay the Warlord.
Slay the Warlord. So 2 plus D3.
All right.
So the D3. Are we ready? It's a 1.
There we go. We're back to normal.
There it is. 2 plus D3 is 3 points, taking me to 14.
Yeah, because you got Kingslayer for 1, Ritual Slaughter for 1, Slay the Warlord for 1, and I've got Slay the Warlord.
And you gain Slay the Warlord, so you're
I'm
on 10. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
14 plays 10, and we go into the Necrons turn
Drawing
4. You're drawing a lot of cards as well. I don't know whether I want to burn anything. Secure objective 3 I'm going to keep. You know what, I'm going to keep those. Objective 1 is still potentially it's defend objective 1. No, screw that. That's not going to happen. So there we go. Any plans? What have we got? What have we got?
So we've
Anything
got
good?
Secure Objective 5, which I'm already on.
That's a given.
Okay. Defend Objective 3. We really like this objective over here.
Objective 3 has come up a lot.
It's the one to watch. Then I have Slaughter the Living, which is a Necron exclusive, 1 victory point for destroying an enemy unit this turn. Scour the Skies, so destroy a unit with fly.
Yeah,
You've got
all
3
my
units with fly.
Enlightened and my Demon Prince. Yeah.
Witch Hunter. I've been waiting for that one to turn
You
up.
have been waiting for that to turn up.
And Psychological Warfare, so this is if you fail a morale check. So I've got ways of doing that.
You have, because I've got very weak leadership over here.
Yes, exactly.
And you put in enough to cause me to morale there.
Indeed.
You
So
could be scoring heavy this turn, I think.
could. So we're going to see what happens with my reanimation, but in theory, the plan will be move the Immortals over there to zap away at them, just cause morale checks, see how many we get. We're going to have to see how many come back. The Destroyers, I think, are going to have to deal with him because he's both a Psyker and a Flyer.
He's worth lots of points.
I need to see what happens over here in terms of reanimation because I can't place him within an inch of an enemy model. So even though I've lost 5, I can only really bring back maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But that should be enough to just sort of whack in.
Well,
Because there's no charges.
That's another 6 more wounds that you're putting into there as well, which
Exactly.
are tough.
And then Slaughter the Living is just going to be as long as I can kill stuff.
Yeah.
Defend Objective 3, well, let's see what happens over there. Because if I can bring back a bunch of guys and kill a bunch of your guys, I could do it in your turn.
Yep.
And Secure Objective 5, we're just going to have to hang someone back.
Cool.
So,
When we come back, we'll see how that pans out as we enter the Necron turn 4. So the end of the Necron turn 4, you got some good cards.
yeah, it just didn't do didn't work.
Didn't quite work.
In some places.
So you managed to you kept yourself down here with, is that your lord, your second lord?
That's
down
a
there? Or
normal
your
lord.
Normal lord.
Yeah.
You then fell back out of combat over here so that you could unleash hell with these guys into my Demon Prince. I burned my last command point to keep an invulnerable save. You got 4 damage in total from the 3 that went through.
Yeah, 4 wounds, yeah.
4 wounds in total, so he's still alive and kicking. You got 3 Tomb Blades back. Seriously, dude.
Yeah, I'm
your
sorry.
reanimation this turn was disgusting.
It was very good this turn.
You noticed we're back up to 6 destroyers, by the way.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Destroy. Yeah, 3 of them came back. 3 Lich Guard.
Yeah.
3 Tomb Blades. 4 of the Immortals.
It was everybody came back.
One of those Immortals. It was,
yeah.
It was bonkers.
It was a very good RP roll, right? But. So you got 3 guys back in this big combat over here. This is where it's all counting, right?
Yeah.
And
they whiffed horribly.
yeah, I wouldn't say it was your best phase today.
No, that wasn't.
So your cards, you had to kill a Psyker,
Well, I haven't done that.
which you didn't do.
No.
Because I managed to pass a couple of good saves.
You did.
And Scour the Skies, which was a unit that can fly.
Of
So
which you had 3,
therefore,
and
I
I
had
didn't do.
several, and you didn't do, even though you tried over here, you tried over here.
Yeah.
I did lose a Terminator and a half due to the shooting from these guys,
Yep.
the Tomb Blades,
Yeah.
and that was pretty much it. In the resulting combat, I managed to kill another couple back again.
Yeah, you killed 2.
Killed 2, so that's 4 wounds. You know, to do that. These are tough kiddies in there. But that was pretty much it. So from a card perspective, how did we do on the points, sir?
So I did get Secure Objective 5, which is where my lord is.
Yep,
I
that's
did
the one
get
down here.
Psychological Warfare because I did 9 wounds to the cultists.
You did
over
the
there.
perfect damage over here. You killed
Yeah.
9 from these guys, the Leash Guard, the Tesla
yeah.
Immortals, a perfect 9, which meant I auto failed, which meant you auto scored.
Yep, which led into Slaughter the Living, which was destroy a unit this turn, which it
Which
was.
you have done.
So I got 3 points there. I do still have Witch Hunter and Scour the Skies, which I'm going to keep.
Yep.
And I'm halfway to Defend Objective 3. Because currently I have 3 models on it to your 2.
Which I need to resolve that this turn.
Yes, because
Yes.
otherwise
2 points.
I'll be taking it.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep that.
But I also have secure objective 3, so by shifting them,
Exactly.
stops you for 2 but gains me 1.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's-
actually a 3-point swing.
it's a 3-point swing just for that. So how many points did you gain this turn?
So that puts me on 3, so I'm on 13.
13 plays 14.
It's very close.
That doesn't get much closer than that, does it?
And it is turn 5.
Turn 5, so it's,
And
I think we're
you're-
looking at the time. I think we are going to have to call it at the end of turn 5.
Sure.
Because my missus is hungry and keeps texting me while we're playing the game.
Sorry.
That's all right. We were a little bit late starting, so never mind. But it was totally worth it because this game is epic. But we'll move into the potential, well, the theoretical, I guess. Thousand Suns turn 5. See if we can pull some tricks, and depending on the cards. But we'll see when we come back. So the end of the Thousand Suns turn 5. So I've got an awful lot of cards down here, and we're going to calculate those in a minute. But in the meantime, my only movement really was the Demon Prince. He flew over, and because of his double damage talons, he had to come in and have a go at these guys. The Tomb Blades, which are no longer there.
Yeah.
So a little bit of smite, took out a wound because D3 is a 1. But his claws and diabolic strength meant he had an extra attack. And we got through, and I've got Scour the Skies, but we'll need to look at that in a second. And the other notable combat then is I went first with the Enlightened, and the Enlightened finished off the remaining Leash Guard. Finally. That was a big swing of points over there, and we'll catch up with that in a second, but that was pretty much the end of the turn. Other than that, these guys ran forward to try and smite into here, and obviously I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Obviously. So I don't have defend objective 3 because it's at the end of your turn. I will.
Yes, so I need to
score
deal
that.
with them.
Yes. Secure objective 3 I do have.
Correct.
Defend objective 4 is miles away. That's not happening.
Okay.
Blood and guts.
You killed 2 units.
The unit was destroyed during the fight phase. If 3 or more were destroyed, it's D3. I killed 2.
You killed 2.
So I get 1 point for there. Behind enemy lines, I don't think I am behind.
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
Because it was.
So actually, yeah,
I
based
think
on
I'm
you're
well
not
out.
getting that.
Yeah, not getting that. Scour the Skies though is a
got
point.
Mm-hmm.
Overwhelming firepower. Where are we with that? Score a victory point during the shooting phase, which I didn't do.
No.
Power of the Cabal. The end of the first turn in which you successfully resolved at least 2 psychic powers, score a victory point for every 2 powers after that.
So you did diabolic strength.
Yep.
And a smite.
Yep.
You did another. You did baby smite.
Two more smites.
And another smite there. So you did 4 psychic powers.
Yep.
So you get 2 points.
I believe so. And assassinate was kill a character, which I didn't do.
You have not done. So are you going to discard any cards?
Yes, defend objective 4.
Okay.
Obviously. So that goes away. So we score 1. Any D3s in here? There weren't, were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points.
Okay.
5 points.
Right.
Takes the tally down here. This is my little tally pile here. So we have another 5 here. Puts me on 19 faces. How many were you on? That dice has gone walkies.
I was on 13.
13.
So you're on how many?
19.
Right. Oh.
So, plans.
Mm.
So everything's happening over here. This was the exciting thing over here.
Yeah.
And you've now got to get from here to do your stuff over there.
Yeah.
What cards have you got for your final turn?
Okay, so I've still got Witch Hunter, sure. I've still got Scour the Skies, sure. Defend Objective 3,
Not so much. Kingslayer. Happy days. Already been done.
Automatically get that.
Assassinate. Very possible.
Yes. From these.
And here is where we get some problems. Defend Objective 6. Well, that's over here. Well, unless the game carries on.
Yeah, we're going to have to call it. Unfortunately,
Sure,
there's going to be
that's
no variable.
Nope, that's
there.
perfectly fine.
It's fine.
Hold the line.
That's your own deployment zone.
3 units as well, not going to happen. But that does coincide with advance, so get everyone out of my deployment zone, which is actually easy to do.
Yep.
But blood and guts. So,
I can really only score. Really, I'm not going to score Hold the Line. Kingslayer is already done. I need to get Witch Hunter, Scour the Skies, Assassinate with the Kingslayer is fine. Hold the Line's not going to happen. Advance is going to happen. Defend Objective 6 is a non-starter. Hold the Line is a non-starter. Defend Objective 3 is now a non-starter. Blood and Guts is a non-starter. So there's 4 objectives there which I cannot do. So basically my focus is now to just kill your stuff and try and prevent you from holding that objective. So
I can potentially get Defend Objective 3 in your turn.
I need to kill them.
So you need to kill the Enlightened.
Yes. So
good luck.
Yeah, let's see how we go.
Let's get on with Necrons turn 5. We're at a very exciting end of the game, right? So just run me through what happened in that last turn there. You basically rinsed all of my Enlightened with all of your Tesla, right? That
yeah, so both units of Tesla shot at the Enlightened, wipe them off the board. The reason for that is to stop you from getting Defend Objective 3.
So Defend Objective 3 is a no good, because I would have scored 2 points in your turn.
And that would have won it.
That would have auto won the game.
That would have won the game.
Because we're going to get to the dice roll in a minute, because this is going to be very exciting. The Destroyers... Destroyed. Yeah, my lord. I passed 5 out of 7 in vulnerable saves.
You did pass 5 out of 7, and then I rolled exactly 4 damage.
And you did exactly 4 damage, and that's what you got. With a big relief to that was Scour the Skies and
Assassinate. Well, I had to Scour the Skies for these guys, but more importantly, that was Witch Hunter and Assassinate.
So it's a whole bunch of points just in that one guy, and you made it. And I had no command points to try and get an extra invulnerable save.
Yeah.
So there we go. So
it was 19...
13.
Okay.
So we're going to do some maths here, because this is going to get interesting. So I've got my dice here. So we are 19 plays 13.
So I got Assassinate for 1.
Yep.
Witch Hunter for 2. Advance, because these guys were just on the edge of my deployment zone.
Yep, as measured.
I got Scour the Skies. But I've also already achieved Kingslayer. Now, I also have Linebreaker, because I have 1 unit over there, and we're calling the game here.
Yep.
You don't have Linebreaker.
Correct.
But at the end of this game, the burdens of command are we lose 1 victory point for every 3 cards we hold. Now, even if I discard one of these, I'm still holding 3 at the end. So I lose a victory point.
I equally have 4 cards.
Yes.
So I'm going to lose a point as well.
So it's currently 18 to 17. But I've got to roll for Kingslayer.
Yeah.
So at the very least, I'm drawing.
Mm-hmm.
But on a 3+, I'll win.
Yep. Oh, in the magic draw. Let's get these out of the way.
Steal it by a point.
Steal it by a point on a D3.
To 19 to 18, but by God, what a game!
How can you go wrong when you're on the last dice throw of a game?
Yeah.
To see how that goes, and
That's great.
That was awesome.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you very much.
That was an excellent game. And the thing is, you were running away with that. Not running away, but you were in the lead consistently.
Yes.
I just had an extremely good last 2 turns.
Right at the very last turn. But then you knew those cards were going to be in deck, because you removed,
eventually they were
you removed the 6 rubbish ones you're never going to get, so there's no threat of that. I got a couple of rubbish ones. I ended up over here with one of them. But yeah, a very, very close game.
Yeah.
And all on the last dice throw. How can you go wrong with that?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you very much, Mike. Much appreciated.
No, absolute pleasure.
Hope to see you again here soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
So there we go then, guys. A slight defeat. The last dice of the game. A very, 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 very even battle. I kept the lead most of the way, concentrating on those objectives as best as I could, even when I knew that I was slightly outnumbered. Kept that lead all the way through until basically the last throw of the dice. You can't get much better or a closer game than that. Disappointing, but it was a great game. Much thanks to Mike from Tabletop Tactics for coming over and spending his Sunday afternoon playing Toy Soldiers with me. Did I make any tactical errors? I think there's a couple that I could have done that were a bit different. When I deployed my rubrics right up high, the whole idea of that was they suck at movement, right? They move only sort of 5 inches, and the idea was to then use the dark matter crystal, get them out of there, and then put them somewhere else. I think I should have done that on turn 1, put them right in his back lines and taken out that rear unit of Immortals from turn 1. Would have probably saved that unit's life. and also made him split his majority of his shooting between multiple units rather than being in one location. So they all really did suffer. Probably something I should have done. I could have then at least got the extra shots into that unit because I would have been within 12 inches. But that's the nature of the beast. I really wanted to try and kill destroyers, and deploying first meant he could really focus fire on those guys with his Uber units, knowing that there was that slight bigger gap. So I wasn't going to maximise the rubric bolted discipline rules. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed the game as much as we did playing it. It was epic. I'm hoping we can do it again very soon. But if you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I shall catch you guys on the next video.